and policies like they have. I don't say her because she has no policy. Everything that she believed 3 years ago and 4 years ago is out the window. She's going to my philosophy now. In fact, I was going to send her a MAGA hat. She's gone to my philosophy. But if she ever got elected, she'd change it.
That is a fact check. President Trump last night saying he'd send her a MAGA hat because she's flip-flopped so many times, and now she's for a border wall and fracking in Pennsylvania, and she's for not taxing tips and all these Trump positions. She should be wearing a MAGA hat. Sounds like she's voting for Trump. But Dick Cheney, they won the Dick Cheney vote, and they're very proud of themselves. Now he's a senior statesman, not a war criminal and Satan, like they said before. Maybe Republicans should now label him a war criminal and Satan so that Dick Cheney has no escape. Pretty amazing stuff. What a country, as Yakov Smirnov used to say. I just mentioned that Taylor Swift waited until the debate was over last night and then endorsed Kamala Harris. Why did you wait until the debate was over last night? Kind of late to the game. I think she had leaked that she was a supporter of Kamala, and to no one's surprise, I might add. But there is a pretty funny moment happened. Taylor Swift just endorsed Harris and Walz. Now Elon Musk is trying to pick a fight with her. I think she'd lose that fight on whatever level it may be waged. But the news media loves this because, they used to love Elon Musk until they hated him. And they did the old point and hate. I've been talking about the Democrat Party's point and hate for a decade and a half now on the radio. And that is they can pick anybody out of a crowd. It's like Joseph Stalin's KGB chief, Lavrentiy Beria. Show me the man and I'll show you the crime, right? Because they just make up crimes. But they can pick anybody out of a crowd and point at him. Like Donald Sutherland in Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I'm pointing at Michael Piercy. And they can point and then and say, hate him. And all the Democrats hate him. And it can be somebody that they loved yesterday. But when the party says hate them, then they all fall into line and click their heels together 3 times and they hate him. Or just once, like the Nazis that they are. It's quite amazing. And then Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney, they've hated him. He's Satan and a war criminal for years and years and years. And then Dick Cheney says that he's going to vote for Kamala Harris. And now they'd all have sex with Dick Cheney, which might very well kill him. What was it I heard somebody say yesterday? Dick Cheney's had a change of heart. He's had a change of heart, bada boom, see? He had a heart transplant, and he's had all these heart things, and he's had a change of heart. And it's a little joke about medical things, but kind of funny. And, they demonize the hell out of him. And then they can turn on a dime, do a 180 and say, oh, no, Dick Cheney is good. Elon Musk, he's great, until he buys Twitter and takes away this propaganda tool from them that they abused the hell out of in the 2016 election. And he takes that arrow out of their quiver, and suddenly Elon Musk is a villain. He's an African American. Well, he's an American from Africa, from South Africa. It's not like he was a apartheid boy or anything like that. But Elon Musk concedes in viral banter, says, pretty funny because Taylor Swift endorsed after the debate last night. Fine, Elon Musk weighs in. Fine, Taylor, you win. All right, says, fine, Taylor, you win. And then he mocked her because he's a funny guy. I will give you he said, because she loves to brag, what Taylor Swift said is that she is, that they're really upset about this. They can't take mockery and they can't take ridicule, right? They're utterly intolerant of this, but Taylor Swift endorses warrior Kamala Harris. Well, it's true. There's war all over the Middle East and war in Europe, and nobody's doing anything to bring it to an end. President Trump last night was attacked saying, well, do you support victory for Ukraine? And he gave the perfect answer, the right answer, said that I support ending the war. Hundreds of thousands of people have been killed in this war. Maybe we should prioritize ending the war. But the Democrats don't believe that because they are giving a tongue bath to the military-industrial complex, and the military-industrial complex gives them a tongue bath in return with hundreds of billions of dollars being thrown around. But Taylor Swift endorses warrior Kamala Harris, an Instagram post signed by Childless Cat Lady. She's a childless cat lady, and isn't that wonderful? So she posted a thing, and they really love themselves, usually in the privacy of their own homes, but not always, as in the case with Jeffrey Toobin, for example. Yeah, and in fact, Jeffrey Toobin posted something about how excited he was that ABC News did such a great job, and I assume that he was touching himself while he tugged that, but never mind that, because the big news is Taylor Swift, and she's a childless cat lady. And they love being childless because they hate humanity. And they like cat ladies, and I won't even get into why. So pretty amazing stuff. And then after she signed it, childless cat lady and the warrior princess, She-Ra, the warrior princess. And just amazing stuff. Now, she went on and on, so I'm not going to go on and on because she has this long-winded, ignorant cat lady endorsement of Kamala, and then because Elon Musk is a funny guy, he jumps in and he says, "Fine, Taylor, you win. I'll give you a child and guard your cats with my life." Just leaves it at that because he's kind of above it all, isn't he? Not just when he's on one of his private jets, but he's above it all. I love the guy, and I don't know. It's not like I agree with him on everything because I haven't over the years, but good for him. That's pretty great stuff. Pretty great stuff. A friend of mine is suggesting that the Republicans on Capitol Hill should go down to the ABC News Bureau, the ABC News Washington headquarters, and have a news conference there, announcing it's on DeSale Street off of Connecticut Avenue. And the Republicans from the Hill should go down there, hold a press conference, and announce that no Republicans will appear on This Week, their Sunday show, at least until the election is over, because of the biased demonstration that they put on last night. They should announce that they won't cooperate with ABC News on anything. Their morning show, their evening news broadcast, their Sunday show. The Republican Party is done with ABC fake news. I think that's kind of a fun idea. Now let's go to the mailbag, because it's Mailbag Day. It's Wednesday. It's Hump Day in the Clinton household, and here on the Chris Plant Show, it's Mailbag Day. Not a lot of Hump Day stuff going on here, but that's okay. Now, our mailbag, I have 4 mailbag questions in front of me right now, printed out by Michael Piercy today. Roger Greason says, "Hi, Chris. Is America too far gone to be able to put the federal government genie back in its bottle?" Well, Roger, that is a hotly debated topic and a very good question. And the truth is that the answer remains to be seen. The government is the genie out of the bottle, and the government is out of control on so many different levels. And Benito Mussolini defined fascism as corporatism because it's a merger of state and corporate power. And we've seen the Democrat Party in bed with ABC News and with Twitter before Elon Musk took it over, and Facebook, and Mark Zuckerberg. Here's $400 million to corrupt the election, and we will corrupt Facebook when the FBI calls, and we will censor people. Our government is very corrupt right now, and I don't think it's over. But we're in a very tough place as a culture, as a civilization, as a country, as a government, and as a body of citizens. We're in a very tough place. Is it too late? I I'm more optimistic than that, and it might be years, and it might be centuries for all we know. But our government in the United States right now is out of control and corrupt, and the corporate media is matching their corruption with the corruption of their own, and we're in a very tough place, no doubt about it. But I'm not giving up. I have one good friend who has basically completely given up on the United States. America says the experiment is over and has moved to another country and has left the United States, believes that we are done toast. I don't believe that, but we're in a very bad place. We have to recreate an educational system that will teach people the truth and not left-wing propaganda. And the Democrats have infected, like the monkeypox purveyors that they are, our grammar school education, high school education, and certainly university, college education, corrupted it. And that's key. And they've corrupted our public institutions from the FBI and the Justice Department, the intelligence community, and penitentiary. Face Brennan and the felonious 51 letter about the Hunter Biden laptop. We're in a very corrupt place. I've never seen our country this corrupt before. But we're not done. It's the eternal struggle between the darkness and the light, between the truth and the lie, between good and evil. It's biblical, literally, in its proportions when it comes to the future of humankind, not just the United States. And I hope that the fight is on. And this election will play a significant role in that. But I'm more optimistic than to think that it's literally over. We just have to win the argument. First, we have to wage the argument, and not everyone is doing that, and those that are doing that aren't always doing it well, waging the argument. Thank you, Roger. DWB has the question, what does Chris expect will be Democrats' October surprise? Well, I can't tell. It's a surprise. It's like a surprise birthday party. Their October surprise. That's a fun question, DWB. But it is a surprise. What do they have up their sleeves? They are creepy in the sinister level of deviousness of the Democrat Party and their sexual partners in the news media. What do they have up their sleeves? Well, I think that one big October surprise might be less likely or less probable than a series of dirty tricks that they will play. They really want to win because they're so crazy. And I mean, they literally have a mental illness. Millions of them have been brainwashed and indoctrinated like North Koreans to believe a whole panoply of things that are untrue about Donald Trump being a threat to democracy. He just mentioned it in a soundbite we played of him from last night that we played a couple of minutes ago. What do they have up their sleeves? I can't say that I know what they have up their sleeves, DWB, but I know that they do have tricks up their sleeves because that's the kind of people that they are. Ron asks, what do you, and we're going to have to wait and see. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled, as painful as that sounds. Ron says, what do you think Biden meant when he said he has to do 9/11? Is he trying to admit something to us, but it's too incoherent? And Ron is referring to this, what Biden said yesterday.
I'm going up to my granddaughter's birthday in New York. Then we're going to watch a debate. And then tomorrow I'm doing 9/11.
And tomorrow I'm doing 9/11. He's such an idiot that what he means is he's going to New York today to Manhattan for a ceremony commemorating the 23rd anniversary of the radical Islamic jihadi attacks of 9/11 of September 11th, 2001. I remember it well. I was at the Pentagon. And then Joe Biden is going to Shanksville, Pennsylvania for a ceremony there. And then apparently he's going to Arlington, Virginia, where we keep the Pentagon, for an event there. And I believe that's what he was referring to. But he's illiterate and mostly incoherent. And then Aaron asks, will there be another presidential debate after tonight? That is an interesting question, Aaron, and I have a long answer on that coming up because the Kamala Harris campaign, the Harris-Walz campaign, announced they think they did really well last night. And there's now we want another debate. And I just, be careful what you wish for, because I hope there will be another presidential debate after last night. I hope that it will be on Newsmax or on Fox News. And I've got President Trump talking about that I'm going to share with you coming up as well. The answer, Aaron, is we don't know yet, but it looks like both parties are now saying they would like another debate. And I think we would all like another debate. And I think Kamala Harris would regret asking for another debate. And that is our mailbag. But I've got more on that coming up, Aaron. It's common for people to feel what they think of as heart symptoms. Your heart, hey, what's my heart doing? Those feelings may be nothing at all, but what if it's AFib? Atrial fibrillation, a common arrhythmia that's also a leading cause of stroke. Well, check out the KardiaMobile. Listen to this stuff. It's great, and it's a great little device. KardiaMobile Personal EKG by AliveCor. The KardiaMobile Personal EKG is the only FDA-cleared pocket-sized EKG device that gives you 6 views of your heart. And it's an amazing device. You can put it in your pocket. You can travel with it. You can take it to the store. It can also tell you if your heart rhythm is normal, and that's a good thing. You can take a medical-grade EKG right in your smartphone and easily share accurate EKG data with your doctor in a matter of seconds, with your wife, with your husband. September is AFib Awareness Month, so it's the perfect time to do something to manage your heart health, and that's a good idea. For a limited time, KardiaMobile is giving 20% off for all my listeners. That's you. All you have to do is go to Kardia.com. That's KARDIA.com, 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 or on Amazon and use the code 20PLANT, 20PLANT. That's 20PLANT to get 20% off your KardiaMobile 6L device. It's a beauty. I've got one, sponsored by AliveCor Inc. Yes, sir. All right, yeah, and I've got more coming up from the debate and the anniversary of September 11th. Should there be another debate? Well, the Kamala Harris people are pretending they want another debate. I'm not sure they mean it, but we'll find out as time marches on. President Trump, I think, should want another debate. I got to say, if the Kamala people think they did so well, why would they want another debate? If you think you won this one decisively, wouldn't you just say, done with that, dust your hands off, and walk away? So that sounds like more political weaseldom. But I've got the next debate idea coming up. Ah, yes. I am... tell you, it's a crazy world, isn't it? It's not getting any less crazy. Not lately. I don't see in the short-term future. The Wall Street Journal just popped with an article a matter of minutes ago. Republicans frustrated with Trump's debate performance, ABC moderators. We should call them something other than moderators, shouldn't we? Whether Trump will agree to another debate isn't clear after Harris got under his skin. I've got you. And I got to say, it was quite obvious that she got under his skin, and repeatedly. But the Wall Street Journal is saying Republicans expressed frustration and offered second guessing in the aftermath of Donald Trump's televised showdown with Kamala Harris, complaining that the former president had faced more scrutiny as Trump cast doubt on whether he would agree to another debate. I think it would be a good idea to agree to another debate. And the Kamala people, they have already said, oh, we'd like another debate. We'd like another debate because, they got the Taylor Swift endorsement. So the vaunted, and who is it? The Root. The Root has got an article. It's an African-American publication. Are there white publications? Well, that would be racist, wouldn't it? I think then. pointy white hats, Robert Byrd, the Robert Byrd Daily or something like that. But, yeah, the root, they say, where's Beyonce? Now, Beyonce's got to endorse Kamala. And they're pounding the tick because, if you really think it's important, if it's important to you, whether Taylor Swift or Beyonce, whether they endorse a political candidate, you should be stripped of the right to vote for the rest of your life because you're too stupid to vote. Beyonce endorsed her. I'm voting for her because Beyonce endorsed her. I'm voting because Taylor Swift endorsed her. And she's a childless cat lady who has how many private jets? Just 2 private jets now or 3 private jets? And she's saving the environment by, were it not for double standards, liberals would have no standards at all. Isn't that extraordinary? But the Wall Street Journal, Trump on Wednesday morning said that the ABC News debate moderators were unfair to him and that he was less inclined to debate Harris again. Well, I wouldn't have David Muir do it again, I'll tell you that much. Despite previously calling for more debates. Yes, President Trump, more debates, at least one more. And I've got an idea. Michael Piercy and I were talking about this. I've got an idea for the next presidential debate. And my advice to President Trump is next time, prepare for it. I know. What are they? We should prepare for it. Next time, prepare. Don't just walk in figuring you're going to mop the floor with everybody and make it up as you go along. Next time, actually prepare. Even Kamala looked okay last night because she prepared to the hilt, up to the hilt, which is that part of a sword up here. So when you're running somebody through, that's where it stops, where your hand is. Your hand is there. But never mind that. Still, it was not immediately clear whether it would, have a measurable impact on a race, the debate last night, whether it would have a measurable impact on a race that was upended 7 weeks ago when Harris became the nominee following a disastrous June debate performance by then President. When do we start calling him then President? Joe Biden. Because he's not really president now, is he? Just for ceremonial purposes only, I think. All right, let's go. I think President Trump should definitely agree to debate. Does Kamala Harris have cats? She's got that stepdaughter who's a freak show. Looks like she escaped from Bergen-Belsen, right? And covered with the tattoos and stuff. But she might be a cat person. I think she's probably a childless cat lady, too. Just looking at her and listening to her, I'm thinking in that, it's impersonating cats.
No pets.
No pets at all? Is that right? Well, maybe later. After she retires, in January, she can get a cat. Get a cat. All right, let's go. Now, what is President Trump was asked about? He called in to Fox and Friends on the Fox News channel this morning, President Trump did. And, of course, the question of another debate came up, right? And talking about last night's debate. But first he was asked, let's go to, where are we going? 31, right? And he was asked about last night's debate and the ABC hacks, the Democrat Party front boy, David Muir, and front girl, Lindsay Davis. And how did they do, President Trump?
I think ABC took a big hit last night. I mean, to be honest, they're a news organization. They have to be licensed to do it. They ought to take away their license for the way they did that.
They should take away their licenses. Well, technically, they're not licensed because it's the United States of America and the First Amendment and everything. We don't license news organizations. That's not something that we do. But so that was a little bit of a misstep there. Now, President Trump last night, he went to the spin room, number 15, and the candidates themselves never go to the spin room. It may be unprecedented. That's one of those overused Washington words. Maybe unprecedented, but President Trump went to the spin room. And why do you think they call it the spin room? Where he said, this was great.
It was my best debate ever, I think. And it was very interesting. It showed how weak they are, how pathetic they are, and what they're doing to destroy our country and the border with foreign trade, with everything. And I think it was the best debate I've ever personally that I've had.
I don't believe that to be true. I don't believe that to be true by a long stretch, but it is called the spin room. In fact, the last debate you had with Joe Biden was 10 times better than last night. Maybe 11 times better than last night. Pretty amazing stuff. And I would like another debate because, a make good is in order. And the next time you go in really prepared, have a plan, smile, relax, be calm and appealing, don't scowl, have a number of zingers that you've got loaded and ready to go. He had one or two minor ones last night, but nothing big. And be prepared with the facts and the policies and be able to lay out why your 4 years as president were so much better than their 4 years as president, which should be easy to do because the facts support you all the way. But that was not your best performance last night, not by a live shot. You got to tell the truth the way that it is. Steve Ducey asked President Trump, hey, how about a debate on Fox News?
Last night, Fox News sent letters to your campaign and her campaign offering 3 dates of debates moderated by Martha and Brett. One is October 9th in Arizona.
Well, I wouldn't want to have Martha and Brett. I'd love to have somebody else other than Martha and Brett. I'd love to have, frankly, Sean or Jesse or Laura, somebody else. Let's give other people a shot.
That was kind of fun. I don't want Brett Baer and Martha McCallum. I want Jesse Waters and Sean Hannity and Laura Ingraham. And I've got to say, with the David Muir and Lindsay Davis performance last night, honestly, first of all, I've always thought that the Heritage Foundation should host and moderate one and then maybe have the radical left-wing extremist pro-Russian Putin Brookings Institution Democrat front group, the Brookings people. They had one of their people was involved in that whole fake Russian collusion conspiracy, weren't they? Anyway, it was not a theory. It was an actual conspiracy. President Trump pointed out, I think, the obvious, but when it comes to ABC fake news and Lindsay Davis and David Muir being corrupt, but the reality is when you're a Republican and you walk into the arena, you know that is the battle space. I mean, it's like Gladiator. And when you walk into the arena, you know that these two are on the other side. And you should go in prepared to navigate that situation, let's say. And you should have lines prepared. And that's why before a big debate when you're running for president, that's why you prepare. President Trump.
I think we did great. It was 3-1. It was a rigged deal, as I assumed it would be, because when you looked at the fact that they were correcting everything and not correcting with her, and we knew it when it was 100% good coverage for her over the last month or last year. I looked at it and only bad coverage of me, no matter what. The press is so dishonest in this country; it's amazing.
100% true. They were not fact-checking her, and she had the Charlottesville good people on both sides, and national abortion ban, that's a lie, and that's a lie. The in vitro fertilization thing, and that's a lie. January 6th, police died, that's a lie. President Trump bloodbath, and that's a lie. She lied about all this stuff, and these fraud fakes at ABC Fake News did not push back or fact-check or do anything of the kind. In fact, let's jump to number 14 for a moment, because CNN, they did a fake fact check last night, and they had a guy named Daniel Dale of CNN, and he sounded like he had just watched the debate, but he didn't know anything about Project 2025 having nothing to do with President Trump. President Trump being all in favor of in vitro fertilization, President Trump saying repeatedly he would not sign a national abortion ban. President Trump, good people on both sides in Charlottesville, was talking about people fighting over the statues and monuments in parks, and no big deal. And then police died January 6th. No, Officer Brian Sicknick died the next day of a stroke, but Ashley Babbitt was shot and killed, and the bloodbath thing was about the economy in Michigan and the automobile industry. But Daniel Dale doesn't follow the news. He doesn't know any better. He's CNN's fact checker last night.
what stood out was that this was a staggeringly dishonest debate performance from former President Trump. Just lie after lie on subject after subject. By my preliminary count, Jake, Trump made at least 33 false claims, 33. By contrast, by, again, a preliminary count, Vice President Harris made at least one false claim, though she added at least a few misleading claims.
Yeah, Project 2025, in vitro fertilization, a national abortion ban, Charlottesville, good people on both sides, the January 6th, all the police that didn't die there, the bloodbath. But that's your CNN fact check. Son, you're fired. You suck. That's your news media. All right, now we're going back to number 19. Number 19. I wanted to get that CNN fake fact check in there. And President Trump last night on the this is this morning on the Fox News channel.
Every single poll last night had me winning like 90-10. We had C-SPAN at one point was at 80-20, and I don't know how it finished. That was late last night, so I have no idea. But it was at 80-20. I told that to Brett Baer, and we sent him a lot of polls, and we sent you a lot of polls this morning. And every single poll had us winning by a lot.
There are other polls that don't have President Trump winning by a lot. Polls are polls, and they're stacked in all kinds of different ways. In any event, I think another debate is in order and would be good. Because, I was watching it last night. I became increasingly frustrated while watching it, I will confess, and was texting on a number of different threads with friends and colleagues, and I was not thrilled with the way things went last night. I think it could have gone much, much better for President Trump. I think he did great with his already solid base of voters, but the idea of last night's event was to bring in more people, was to be smiling and charming, was to punch a hole in the negative stereotype of President Trump, right? And I don't think he was relaxed, and he started out kind of calm, cool, and collected, but then she got his goat big time. And President Trump raised a question that will not be addressed by anyone in the news media.
They had a rigged show with somebody that maybe even had the answers. I mean, I'll be honest. I watched her talk, and I said, she seems awfully familiar with the questions, and you get pretty good at that stuff after a while.
Yeah, and again, since Donna Brazile at CNN fed the questions in advance to the Hillary camp, and since the Candy Crowley 2012 presidential debate, there's a lot of reason to be suspicious about all of this stuff. All right, now, where we go? Number 31, is that where we're headed now? Number 31. Remarkable stuff. Now, the Fox News people, Martha McCallum, and they noticed, they watched it and noticed what everybody else noticed.
But it has to be said that she was really never held to the fire. She was not pressed by the moderators on her past positions and how she got from a very progressive, most progressive senator to where she is now. And that falls on ABC. And I think there were moments when it felt like they were helping her out and they were not helping him out.
Well, there's no doubt about that. And one of many now former Democrats, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., was on Newsmax last night following the debate, and he was there as commentator for the debate on Newsmax TV. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. noticed the same thing.
Fortunately, we had moderators who were clearly biased, who were constantly fact-checking Donald Trump. None of these kind of whoppers that the vice president was saying, and none of her failure to really explain that, answer that first question, that very, very critical first question. They simply sat there on the sidelines and allowed that to pass.
Megyn Kelly posted a video also laying out her disenchantment with the ABC fake news so-called moderators who might as well be North Korean operatives. If Kamala's the North Korea candidate, then it's like that. These are remarkable times we're in. Let's have another debate, President Trump. And let's come in loaded for bear next time. And kill it, spike it. Nothing but sound bites on the issues where you will win every time, as everyone said before the debate last night. Remarkable times.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets.
Well, are they tasty? You know, out of Haiti, they've got Barbecue the Cannibal, too, so it's not like the eating the cats is a big deal, really. You know, the Democrats moved about 20,000 Haitians into Ohio and Springfield, Ohio, and surrounding environs, and played the audio yesterday of people testifying at the city council meeting and the news story. People eating all kinds of varmints, and that's crazy stuff. The Reverend Al Sharpton, who is paid by NBC News to be a journalist and to speak truth to power. But, you know, Tawana Brawley, I think, was the... and the Reverend Al, he was really upset that President Trump made reference to these Haitians eating house pets.
He didn't just say people are eating dogs. He said Haitian immigrants are eating dogs. Anybody black in that town looks like a Haitian.
Well, that's not true either. That's racist, as a matter of fact. Another example of Al Sharpton racism. Not true, but the Reverend Al, he was spun up about this.
She won when she walked out and made him shake hands with her. And he had the nightmare of his life that he had to shake hands with a black woman as an equal. And he couldn't get it back together after that.
You know, Al Sharpton fuels the fires of racism by what he says and by the way that he says it and by his very physical presence. And that's why NBC News, a Democrat Party front group, loves the Reverend Al. Have you noticed how skinny he is? He looks like he's not well. He's so skinny. Pretty amazing. But she won because she's a black woman and she shook hands with him, made him shake hands. She had a little short podium too. Did you notice that? They made a special short podium for her because she's only 5'5", 5'4" and 1/4.